Hey there, I'm Mr. Terry. I'm a high school history teacher. Welcome back to another History Teacher X video. All right, I don't think I've been blasted with recommendations as much as this video. You guys hit like the trifecta of ways to communicate with me. YouTube comments, Discord, Twitter messages, and I think I even got an email. And it's from a channel I've never heard of called Rustage. Now the video is called Leaders of History Rap Cypher. So the recommendations I did get, they said it is similar to Epic Rap Battles of History. And of course, that's going to pique my interest because Epic Rap Battles of History is one of the channels my channel was literally built upon. So we're going to check this out. Now, please support the original channel and the original video. I'm going to link it down below. Watch the original video, like the video, and subscribe to their channel. And if you like what I'm doing over here, love to have you as a sub and like the video as well. All right, let's check this out. All right, so if you see me cover epic rap battles, or if you're new to the channel, what I find myself generally doing is pausing after maybe a verse or so. And that is to, of course, like give my reaction. But as a history teacher, I like to talk about history and maybe discuss some of the events or things that they're talking about if it's relevant. And you know, if this is a real rap battle, I got to declare a winner. I kind of want to know what you think too. It's got to have the good beat. Yeah, this already seems like a, you know, Lloyd and Peter beat. Whoa, are these all the people? Look at, wait, what? Look at all these characters. Are these all going to be in the, like in the video? Caesar, Ramses, Cyrus. I'm not going to read them all. This is like the who's who. This is the, like the Hall of Fame of history. Dude, this is, okay. All right, I'm in.
Yeah. They see my legionnaires and my eagles better than my flyer.
Okay, Caesar.
Go ask my captors, say a price, they're gonna tell them higher. My name and monster titles, no,
this is
I'm the man they
Rustage.
admire.
Rustage is a person?
Don't wanna fuck with a Caesar. Big leader, Res Republic, current console speaker. Colosseum, cause I'm the son of face. They're doing center stage, but they were stuck in the bleachers. Hate your teachers, so go learn some meta. Can they play like Shakespeare, heavy verse and rhetoric? A puppet talking till he hurt his head. A bit a king to a slave, like they verse and rhetoric. Never did it easy, I've been coming in the battle like it's Venevici. Bella on the commentary, I got records written neatly. Got the money like a crisis hitting London to the masses. They can call me a dictator, cause I sinner getting needy. Even better when you see me leaving session like I see these other members of the continent again. And get like maybe hitting Cleo down and eat it in my bed like Nefertiti. Yeah, like guys back in BC.
Okay. That was so hard. That was so good. There was a ton of content in there. I know that was going fast if you're able to absorb it. I caught like the size of the empire because they were talking about going like basically all the way to like Syria. And then they were talking about conquest by leaders of Germanic tribes, his competition with Pompey, another dude that was vying for power. And then I'm going to have to go back and watch this again. But okay, that was sick. Okay, so now we got a new guy. Okay, so we got Ramses, it looks like here. Little flex. All right, Mike, I got the idea that Rustage is like a guy. It's like a person, and maybe these are other people. All right, let's see what Ramses has got.
Of the continent again and get like maybe hitting Cleo down and eat it in my bed like Nefertiti. Yeah, like guys back in BC.
When I was at war, I was out flat caught by the rack forces of a mad horde, and I still left every man more stamped on than the passport for my rap corpse. Now my back sore, ooh, and my body aches, cause I'm soon to hit 90, and you and my hundreds of wives are invited to burn it. I might have decided to know it, how long I reign. Hence the front I made for the betterment of Egypt. Every enemy that threatened me is said to be defeated. No tally, you can tally up your dead. He is only dead, but that's on a man. I swear that's happening, as I said. It did not to amateurs as long as grand. You put them on your pantheon, Aussie man, you solely stays at the fucking rye. You'll never cook as hard as God and Ramses. Got your mouth when the king is
Okay. That one was going hard too. Ramses, he ruled the largest phase of the entire Egyptian empire's history in the New Kingdom. He was bringing all that down. Ozymandias, a name for him. He's basically like a godlike figure, just like all pharaohs were. By the way, I'm loving the style here. These guys are quick. I like fast-paced kind of rapping. The slow kind of stuff, like I'm not as much into. I like the skill of being able to rip off stuff. And in hip hop, though, you can't do that all the time. You got to have some change of pace. But, you know, growing up with a lot of the 90s stuff, you really showed your skill with some of that. Not to say that's everything about rapping, but having that like physical skill is great. Okay, I saw it flash here. We're going to keep going down. And it looks like this is Cyrus the Great. So he was founder of the Persian Empire.
Yes, only stays at the fucking rye. You'll never cook as hard as God and Ramses. Got your mouth when the king of kings step in his bitch.
King of kings, baby.
Egyptian shit. I heard y'all was talking, y'all Babylon and on. Call your army, let's get this shit. I pull up to your border and cause a disturbance. They shaking, I'm making them nervous. Really the greatest, my service they worship. I can't get no blood on this shirt, man, it's Persian. I got your bitches for certain. Top 5, I'm getting a vote. My drip so deep, my fits on fleek. My flow like water, I see my note. Don't make me reach. Stop getting so close, they all rejoice just to look upon me. Get on your knees.
the greatest.
Ooh, okay. All right. We're going through, by the way, this is not chronological order because we wouldn't be able to put Caesar where he was, but we are in the ancient times. But we saw that the King of Kings, Persia, had the largest empire in history up to that point. And they would take over areas and they would have leaders, you know, that were there. They were like kings, but all the kings were subservient to Cyrus. That's why it's called the King of Kings. Cyrus is a character I think that doesn't get talked about enough in the West. Usually you talk about like Persia in the context of like Greece conquering Persia. But Cyrus was a very interesting, and you hate to call a lot of ancient people more like progressive or like forward minded, because by modern standards, they still seem like blood ruthless tyrants. But look into Cyrus a little bit. Okay, we got Alexander the Great, and this is the man Behisla or something. 600 BC when they're founded.
Make way for us and make way or pain in the name 6 7 I'm leaving no terrain that is safe for them. Made a layways, take them and pay great benefit, brain and DA committed. I committed the naysayers, got the brain, shimmer the maze, glisten the corporate fates. I mean, it's a catapult, facing the low to fate difference. Pain driven made, hit a stay feeling, they get in my way, fatally slaying my name. And it's in the KDA, changing the game and no gains given. Your face with the greatest, the day I stay winning. It's that as a claim dependent on my survival. Conquest, baby, stand ready for my arrival. Concept and principle, I'm just invincible. You're gonna fit in my title.
He just snuck it in. Not as much of the historical events in there, but he's just like, just look at my record. I never lost a battle, essentially, and I'm the great. It's like, you're following me. Okay, quick to the point. There we go.
Concept and principle, I'm just invincible. You're gonna fit in my
title. Who's next?
For the wise and generous, switching minds at the stock on a pendulum. Hate a woman so much the planet set me up. Love a queen so much I make it like a bus. Like a cheap queen, I'm the to the young, the woman to the death. They don't know that they need me now. Peter while you song a person we get.
Let's talk about the Koreans, huh?
Like the foundation of a unified combat. 신라야지 17대 손으로 키워. 여주분의 설리가 헛소리. Focus on my people and all the stories. 전혀 한기가 없는 것이. I need a man taking all my glory. Prepare for my downfall, cause I'm start searching. Building up the tower that they use it
the
first.
ladies spitting too.
That I helped to make it flourish. See them in my name at the time of big motion. Only empress.
Okay, we're getting the ladies coming in. So the famous ladies in history, they get swept under the rug. You know, we've all got to hit the books and learn about these women because they do get swept under the rug. Right? We see that. So we see these powerful women from history. It's important to listen. How are they able to break through the rigid molds that ancient society has had? Phenomenal. Okay, let's keep going. Okay, we're headed to China next.
Only Empress ruthless, and I had to be. You think men are impressive, have them try it as ladies. When I took over the court, then I took over the country. Trying to grow, egon boom, but they judge me as cruel.
Right.
We're ready for the fist I rule with prejudice. Get of this new
Should
movement.
able to sneak right in, maybe.
Watch out, crown myself now. So bow down on your knees.
Usurper.
I seized my dynasty.
Yeah. Absolutely awesome. All right, so more representation from the queens of East Asia. We've got Korea, and now we've got China represented with Empress Wu, who actually came into power like some of the powerful female leaders of history have come through, which is, you know, you may not come through the traditional kind of way. It doesn't happen that way, but you get close into the family. Maybe you marry into the family. You become a consort of some kind, and then you give some, good advice, and you have skill, and all of a sudden people are listening to you, and you can finagle your way into leadership like she did as Empress of China and founding the Zhou dynasty, one of the greatest, most powerful dynasties in Chinese history. All right, we're staying in East Asia. It looks like we got Tokugawa Ieyasu, who's going to unify Japan, bring in that Edo period. Okay, here we go. By the way, got an original video in the works for the Tokugawa shogunate. I think you're going to like it. If you haven't seen my originals, I've been putting them out about once a week now. Pretty funny. They're short, informative. I think you'll like them. Just had one yesterday. All right, check it out. It was on Viking raids. Here we go. Japanese rap. I tell you, I've never heard that before. I'm down, man. As long as it sounds good. Artwork is sick, by the way. Heard Edo period, baby. Golden Age stuff. Okay, all right. Wish I could comment more on the commentary there, but the Tokugawa period, amazing. It's the final era of the shogun and the samurai until they get knocked in by the West. But man, what a run, the Edo period. All right, the conqueror of all conquerors. One of my favorite people to learn about. Top civilizations I love teaching and learn about because they're ultimately fascinating as well as they are barbaric and scary. The Mongols, Genghis Khan. By the way, I did do an original recently, and I thought it was one of the best ones about the Mongols. Check that out, too. All right, here we go. Connor Quest. Let's see what you got, man.
Carving pots and cartilage, carnage, wrapped in carnage. Trying to pull the rug, left wrapped in carpet. Fate to the job, me out to ride it. Leave a battlefield covered in crimson. Break necks while I build my kingdom. You claim that you wouldn't do the same, but everybody's got a little bit of me in the
Literally. All right. It's like, it's so easy to be able to talk about the Mongols and their success. Biggest empire ever, most conquest of territory ever. You catch that? You got a little bit of your blood, got a little of my blood in you? Yes, the whole famous DNA research that came out about 1 in 200 people are related to Genghis Khan. And if you're from the region of the empire, it's more like 1 in 8. Yeah, here we go. All right, Alfred the Great. Okay, looks like we're heading west now. Heading over to Europe, see what we got.
Alfred the Great, son of the wolf, wills power and grace. Show you I learned it, and merciful men make a kingdom from ashes and scour the dance.
Well done.
Fifth in line and the last one left, still poker face, and though they stack my deck. Goddamn life was a trial by death, but by God's good light, man, I passed that test. On the English monarch to have earned the great, made the pagans vacate and learn their place. You're a monster mercy and I turned the faith. Might have won the battle, but I burned the case. And if the Pope in Rome and God spoke, said my man Alfie's a top bloke. When it comes to the art of war, I'm ahead of my time like crossbows. See, I'm moving bardic, so damn charming.
Base technologies in the West,
King
baby.
of the Anglo-Saxons might have lost fights, but you'll never hear me lost.
All right, wait.
Harold Gomes.
Okay, all right. Now we're moving to the Anglo-Saxon, England. Looks like Scandinavia is going to come up. We're going to get some Viking stuff going on here. Okay, we got Harold Bluetooth coming in here. Okay, so that was great. We see about the most famous leaders. Bringing in that Anglo-Saxon heat. All right, let's see what we got here with Harold.
King of the Anglo-Saxons might have lost fights, but you'll never hear me lost.
Harold Gomes, Irish vagina's where I was born from. I'm well respected in the runic Hutu. If you're connected, you can call me Bluetooth. I made it insane and invaded and raided. Rearranging the brains of the pagan and raining. Behold, he's a man for all seasons. Whether you're Norwegian or even more
Norway high.
A cold heathens in cold Zealand. Your boy Harold Heathen brought peace to the whole region. Oh Jesus, you reckon you're bringing the heavy bars on hard lines? You want yours? I took a stone and carved mine. Inscribe it in rune.
Runes are sick. Okay, we just hopped right into Charlemagne. Okay, another guy coming from Europe here, king of the Franks. He's going in hard. All right, so we got the Anglo-Saxons, we got the Norwegian Vikings. We're heading down, getting into the Franks. We're going to come to dominate Europe, biggest probably kingdom, really post-Rome. Charlemagne, first Holy Roman Emperor. A lot he's going to be able to talk about. All right, Stupendium. Let's see what you got.
Your life is in wounds. Carolus Magnus Charlemagne, taking over your home now. Charlemagne, got Bavaria, Saxony, part of Spain, and nobody's ever walked that path again. And you could hardly name a place, a nation state, ungraced by the great that Charles became. Left the path to flames to kickstart the art from the heart of Arca like a on the rain.
In the capital, baby.
For instance, schmoozed the pump and picked up the Christians. There ain't no resisting my infant. Pilgrims flock when I bid them go. Plus I got that holy Roman diplomacy. Got those when I grip that rose. So they approach Mr. Worldwide Cuts and globally.
Okay, we're heading back. Chandragupta. Maria, okay. Here we go. Okay, but going back, good ones from Charlemagne there. You know, the famous thing, it's like, unless you're indigenous to the Americas or Africa, I guess we can throw in Southeast Asia here. They say you're either descendant of Genghis Khan or Charlemagne. But yeah, they went through the whole history of there. He gets crowned emperor by the Pope, who basically needed him and his forces as the most powerful force in Europe to save against some crazy rioting that was literally threatening the Vatican there. Bring him down. You can be emperor of us. Let's form a new empire out of thin air. We'll call ourselves the Romans again. All right, now we're going to South Asia. Let's see what Chandragupta's got. Let's get some Marian.
शासक खुद क्या है इज्जत खुद क्या है ताकत होता क्या है सुनने शुरू का वो बात होता क्या है चक्रवर्ती सम्राट मैंने यहाँ नया साम्राज्य बनाया धननन का पूरा कहर मिटाया मैंने रखी नींव उस साम्राज्य की जिसने अखंड भारत को पाया शीश झुका आगे मानी मैंने सदा यहाँ गुरु की बातें युद्ध कला से राजनीति तक ज्ञान ग्रहण किया गुरु के द्वारे जानू पूरा शाम दाम दंड भेद पाओ पूरी भूमि रख तू जहाँ पैर बचेगा ना जो रखेगा मुझसे बैर बना नहीं चंद्रगुप्त जैसे शेर.
By the way, there's not a lot of people that can slow down the Greeks and Alexander the Great. You know who can do it? The Mauryan dynasty. And we know that's saying a lot for defeating the Greeks there. But yes, the Mauryan Empire, one of the greatest of all Indian empires, a golden age of ancient culture. Love it. All right, I think we may be headed to Africa. Mansa Musa. Heck yeah, sub-Saharan Africa. Mansa Musa, richest man that ever lives. King of Mali, let's get it.
Now when it come to pesos, don't ever mention me with Musk or Bezos. I'm black as they so.
Richest man ever, baby.
Trade goals he used today, so.
I didn't catch the rapper.
Check is not a thing. I boom, he kinda means like boom, about a bing. Or cause inflation by giving to the poor too many donations. Man to moon to the mass producer. Cash influence, if a path to do stuff big in architecture. Who need to protect us? Just check the neck for necklace collector. Assalamu alaikum, right from my location. 60,000 deep and nobody can take us. Mecca, what I pray to Muslim too. Without me, there would be no Timbuktu. It's crazy if you ain't heard of me. I'm responsible for many universities. So say what you want, ain't no burning me when I provided too many people's first degree. I love to see that.
Okay. That might be my favorite feature on the whole rap battle right now. Both the content and the rapping. I'm literally writing down Mansa Musa on a paper in front of me, so I make sure I don't forget how hard the Mansa Musa verse went. And if you don't know who we're talking about, you guys got to get in a history book, okay? While Europeans were crawling on their bellies in the medieval dark ages, the Mali Empire was killing it. Mansa Musa essentially owned the gold of all of West Africa, richest man that's ever lived. And how do we know about him so much? Dude performed the Hajj. He was a devout Muslim, got to get to Mecca. And all along the way, he brought hundreds of camels full of gold. Tens of thousands of people in a giant entourage of pilgrims came across North Africa. And if you heard the line in there, it's talking about inflation. Yes, he was bringing his gold with him and he was dropping so much money in cities, Cairo being the famous one. It literally caused hyperinflation for years with that sudden injection of just loose change that came down with him. Timbuktu, yeah, you may not be thinking, if you go and pull up Google Earth and stuff like this was some great imperial capital. You got to wind back a few hundred years. This thing was a golden age level city of intellectuals that he brought back with him. Universities brought all that there. Fortunately, that empire is going to collapse in a few generations after that. Do not sleep on Mansa Musa. Okay, who do we got next? I think we're staying in Africa.
Universities, so say what you want, ain't no burning me when I provided too many people's first degree. I love to see that army scatter.
Shaka Zulu? Okay.
Toe tiger, the best fitted dress sucker. Zulu banner, short spit stabber, coming like Caesar, but blacker. Zulu nation, make a tribe train like a choo-choo station. In a war, recognize who you facing. Pin a crew down like a voodoo patient. Beetle with no sweat. Turn the people to peaceful and you're dead. The elite call me lethal when you're set to be regal and lethal when I step. I'm an African warrior. Hit your rank with the flank of the loins, stay tough. Got the bull by the horns and you'll still get one.
See, dude, we all got to be learning more about Africa, man. Shaka Zulu, the Zulu nation, maybe the most powerful man in South African history, standing up in the age of imperialism, leading armies and people to victory. All right, are we going? Okay. I see an onion hat. This has got to be Suleiman, and I'm going to be very disappointed if it's not. Let's see what we're going to have here.
Hit your rank with the flank of the loins, stay tough. Got the bull by the horns and you'll still get one. I'm
the magnificent baby McGuire. Who's this?
It's a small world, well not to me, bitch. My kingdom just blossom. So fuck your
Ottoman
feelings.
Empire,
I'm
baby.
preaching now. Russian army, they'll pay my tax. I'll drape it
Stare down at the world, I'm at the top.
Different flow and style with this one. I love it. All right, that was good. He represented in the 1600s the height of the Ottoman Empire, when the Ottoman Empire was massive. All right, they're creeping all the way to Central Europe, getting all the way to Vienna. They had North Africa on lock. They're all down the Nile. Tigris, Euphrates, the Balkans, largest phase of one of the longest lasting empires in history. I also got to give him credit because so many people are called the Great. We're about to see Catherine the Great. We need a few the Magnificents. All right, coming back with the ladies. Let's go Catherine the Great, maybe the most powerful woman in European history. Let's see.
Next cowards, they bowed to my feet. Political power was out of my reach until this was shouted upon me beneath. I'm the queen of a blessed with a charge. Had a clown as my spouse until death did us part. I expanded the West and embarked, bringing culture and arts. New approaches to start, new roads to be paved, new expansions to mark, new serfs to be free, new plans to be sparked. Promote education and open the hearts of the openly spoken church. Global remarks, reform, advocation, our modern advancement, diplomacy, big territory enhancements, the legacy to be remembered for ages. Catherine the Great, really Catherine the Greatest.
All right, good. She brought it in. Hey, by the way, we were talking about how women, the ways that women have found their way to royalty and to being kind of the top dog in empire. She was one of those. She was the queen, the Tsarina of Russia. She wasn't even Russian. She got matched up. She was from Prussia, basically Germany, marries into the family, has a weak husband of a czar, basically convinces him to get out, takes his position, and continues the growth of the Russian Empire. They put a couple of her accomplishments that she was big in. She was big into state education, which was developed in her reign at that time. She expanded the empire as further than it ever had gone, all the way basically to Prussia, pretty much close to where she was from, half of Poland. But those women, they can't be sleeping on when it comes to studies. Okay, I didn't see who this next one is. Let's see what we got after Catherine.
The legacy to be remembered for ages. Catherine the Great, really Catherine the Greatest.
Disculpen, could you shut up for a millisecond? It's Philip II. Let me set the record straight. King of Spain, England, Netherlands,
we doing Spain up in here?
I can't remember that many names. I changed the game, they never forget. My reign so great, no one's ever met a single domain so lit. Cause here the sun never sets, okay? Siempre que me siento en mi trono me centro, por eso volví capital a Madrid. Felipe don't need, goes right in his sheet. I sign every text that I send to the streets. Girl, are you feeling feel? You could be my queen, raise my Philippines. Si la gota me agota and I'm really ill, bury me wearing this secret.
All right, so we were getting that going. Oh man, I mean the Spanish Empire, holy crap, they were conquering everybody. Drop the Philippines in there, gotta name it after them, right? They're gonna be all up in the Americas, Spanish Empire. You know, they basically say the sun doesn't set on the Spanish Empire. You know, they say that with the British. I mean, you can make that for the Spanish too. So, all right, let's head to the Americas because I think we are creeping into Aztec Empire. We got Moctezuma up here. Probably the most powerful person in American Empire history.
Where's my Philippines? Si la gota me agota and I'm really ill, bury me wearing this secret.
They're speaking Spanish in it though, even though he didn't. But it's part of the ancestry. Good to drop that in there. You know, even the Aztecs didn't speak Spanish. It's still such an important part of the culture that comes out of Mexico, as you have this blending, of course, the Spanish ancestry and the indigenous ancestry of the largest empire in pre-Columbian history in there, and bringing that into Moctezuma. All right, Napoleon the Great. See, I never hear of anyone ever saying Napoleon the Great. Like, no one has ever said that. Why are they dropping this? We got Napoleon Bonaparte. He's not, I mean, it wasn't given the Great. We don't talk to him that way. We're just adding the Great to everybody.
The heavenly gifts is well known with the peace my prince. I got a void on the pin through the mid and heavy clips. I deep in Egyptians. My wives like Rosetta Stone, hard to read but thick as a bean. Yeah, not the tax and mastery, not good blanchett. Class one class at DC stats and natural. Exit crowns from popes of royals, guys and strats from Elevon. I'm a psychopath. Fuck's by my side.
Probably.
More. For my next natural pride. George. As it would have peers. You can take chance beyond my peers and another tip. When we are linked to Louverture, just a comedy if you be sleeping off my career. Keep it short, I'm a historical giant. What is this?
Ooh, okay. So there's another person. It's not just women that have to usurp thrones, okay? He did it too. And say what you will about his rise to power, but the dude's going to come from, yeah, noble family, but monarchy had already been abolished. He's going to reinstate that thing. You know, that's happening there. I'm glad they threw in, though, the, got to have some French lyrics in there to drop in on Napoleon. Good stuff here. All right. America. I see it. We got George Washing Machine. Let's go.
What is the son to a founding father? Lead teams whoop feet and I couldn't sleep. And you were my child to me so I wouldn't speak. And when I knew I true beast was some more than teeth. Okay, post-war they didn't give me a place. I surveyed land and now I'm off of the map. Delegation how I'm rocking the stage. With nasty rains like intolerable acts. Going in the top dogs since pasta. I'm a raw while on the field hearing shots fired. With the flow you couldn't cross high. And even as a little child I cannot lie. Christmas package for the enemy, no gift to rapping. Leave them in the cold, give them frostbite. Cherry tree swing, hot shot grind. Before Porsche, high speed horsepower like a Mach 5. Shots ringing if you tryna bust. Got cannons punching with the damage and blow. Real precedent for all the future presidents. Knockout win, unanimous votes. Like Mount Rushmore, they froze in the face. Rolling Stone, and you standing there cold. Immortalized, I am the man in the mold. Even when I die, I can't abandon my home. Yeah.
Ooh, that went pretty hard. That was one of the best ones. I put that like top 3 or so, not just because I'm saying that as an American. It flowed well. It went hard. It had some good lines. Brought in the mythology that we've mythologized about our founding father, George Washington. That went really hard. I gotta say, we represented the us Americans pretty well there. I mean, the guy's carved into a mountain, right? Along with the other homies. All right, here we go. What's next?
Immortalized, I am the man in the mold. Even when I die, I can't abandon my home. Yeah.
I know it becomes cliche because you've seen the copycats of Lloyd and Peter and epic rap battles of history. You see a lot of those, and they're pretty good. But I mean, what made epic rap battles so good, obviously, was, I mean, the writing is amazing. Okay. Lloyd and Peter, they're great actors. And these guys were able to kind of use the formula, but not make it hacky. All of the rappers and the vocalists they brought in were awesome. They're all representing, it looks like, their different cultures and these important people from their cultural history, talking about their achievements, you know, and why they should be immortalized with the most impactful people in history here. So I got to say, skill-wise, incredible. So good. It had a lot of style that I like, and they're able to cram that all into 10 minutes. Now, all of these could have been more like separate videos and probably go deeper in the content, but it kept the flow going and was still able to hit a lot of the points that I would assume you would probably bring up if you're doing this type of rap. Only difference, I guess, between this and epic rap battles of history was they weren't necessarily going after each other. And that is one of the funny things about rap battles is epic rap battles is going after, like, you know, embarrassing parts of their history. But this was nothing but self-promotion. And it did it just fine. And so like they're almost trying to out self-promote each other in that way. Now I'm going to come back and circle back here to whose verses did I like the best? Whose portion did I like the best? I think I'm still going with Mansa Musa. I'm going to be watching this more on my own. And maybe I changed my opinion because, again, it was going so fast. But I think his was my favorite with the combination of the history, the swagger of it, the lyricism, and just the performance with the skill involved there. I thought hit all of the boxes that I could check off of. But what do you guys think? Who do you think went the best in this video? I want to know down below. All right, guys, thanks again for watching. If you like what we did here, thumb up the video. Also be a good idea, turn on notifications. I basically upload daily, and you might not be seeing a lot of the stuff I've been putting out. As I said during the video, I had a couple short kind of original videos about some of these people and some of these events. I'm going to link those down below. I'm really trying to promote that stuff and hope that you guys can get some eyes on some of the original content. And I'd love to know what you think about it. All right, we'll see y'all next time.